Today we had a very interesting seminar where I shared some of my insights on this new law, which is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2024. It's one of the most powerful, far-reaching laws that India has seen, and it's going to impact everybody in a very big way. Law applies if you deal with personal data, digital personal data. So this act is very simple. Are you collecting data? Answer is yes. Are you collecting it digitally? Answer is yes. Are you collecting physically but making it digital? Answer is yes. And is it personal data? That means somebody can be identified with the data, then act applies to you. Which means what? You have a whole host of compliance requirements, obligations. You have to tell the person who's giving the data why you're collecting his data, get his consent. Consent has to be clear, specific, unambiguous, etc. And how you use the data, what is the processing of the data. Everything is regulated in this legislation. One more key aspect of this law is that it also applies to consent obtained before the commencement of the act. So you have a risk of past consent collections which may have to meet the requirements of the law. One other good aspect of the law is that there is something called as right of erasure, where a person can say that, look, I gave this data for a particular purpose, I want you to erase it. So those are some of the aspects which are also plus in this legislation. The penalties are huge. So if there is unaccidental or there's a disclosure, unintended disclosure, or some way there is a disclosure of this data outside, it could be hacking, cyber attack, or somebody by mistake pressed something and it went out, and somebody's data is compromised, that the data is outside the public, the penalties are as huge as 250 crores. So this legislation is a very key legislation for understanding, for awareness, and for huge level of compliance. It will change the way you do business. We'll have to redefine contracts, revisit all contracts, relook at customer interface, relook at data collection and information collection, and redefine all our arrangements with data processors which we are dealing with. So I would say that while the law looks fairly simple, it's one of the most compliance-oriented and complex-oriented laws, and if one is not careful, the pitfalls are huge and costly.